ahead, Shrek. You're being out of commissioner. This is going to be a real short trip. Okay, hit it.
Hello, everyone. How goes it? Yeah, we're 2 minutes late. Honestly, for us, that's
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. How goes it, Matt?
It's going. How are you doing?
Good. I mean, it feels like it's been a long week, and I'm like, it's Tuesday, so there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going slow, and for I'm sure for some people it's going fast. So yeah, it's I hear you.
And Jason is not feeling well, so he might hop on. He might not hop on. I honestly hope he doesn't hop on, as much as I like hanging out with him, just because I think he should probably just get some rest then if he's sick. I know something's going around. I have a lot of coworkers who are sick. I was out Thursday and Friday last week. So yeah. But I also don't know how long of a show this is going to be. And I was telling Matt that I just have 20 slides. I think a lot of it's going to be reiterating stuff we've already seen or seen slight teases of. So we'll see. I think it's kind of maybe the calm before the storm. Maybe we'll see more the closer we get to like San Diego Comic-Con. There's been a lot of exciting print releases that aren't Star Wars. But all of this is it all?
Cece, did you happen to hear that Sideshow's not going to be at Comic-Con?
I did, and if you want, we could talk about that. So
that's crazy.
I'm surprised, because like that's their backyard. Like I could understand New York Comic-Con. Celebration in London, it didn't make any freaking sense because that's not really their market. But I do find that shocking.
I don't think they're going to go on anything anymore. I think COVID really screwed with the whole thing, and they were like, oh wow, we saved money doing this online, and we got the same amount of engagement and all that kind of stuff, right? They probably so they're like, what's the point of spending all this money on a booth?
But I think that's so disappointing, because how often were we saying at the Sideshow booth, hey, this statue looks a lot better in person?
I agree.
So that's...
No, I agree. I think it's beneficial to them in a lot of different ways, but I do think that they probably are looking at it, they're looking at saving money, and probably think that outweighs the benefit of having someone look at something and say, oh, that looks good in person, I just don't know if they care so much. I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. It seems like there's been a lot of turnover with different staff and stuff. And then, this thing of not going to Comic-Con, they weren't at London at the celebration. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's really weird. I was surprised when I heard that, because I just think that's kind of crazy. Like, that is one of the reasons everyone goes to these things. I mean, imagine now, like the only real reason a lot of people go to that preview night is to get the jump on other people and like be one of the first people to say, hey, Hot Toys is coming out with this, and they're coming out with these statues and all that stuff, and that's not going to be a thing anymore. Or exclusive, the exclusive Sideshow exclusive, Comic-Con exclusive of some sort of hot toy or something that's not going to be there. I mean, they might still do their own thing at the same time, but that's so weird.
Not their own, like, I think it's kind of a gut punch for all of us who are kind of returning back to normalcy when it comes to attending conventions with COVID. But you're right. Like, there's been a lot of talk recently about how, YouTube's really changed the game. Prime One, I really appreciate their showcase that they do, and that's all virtual. So I think they're realizing they can get a lot of free advertisement from people like us and not have to. But I'm like, that still shafts everyone who looks forward to that. And it's also like, the biggest event when it comes to collectibles and all things that we appreciate, not just Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why it's so shocking.
I will say that Cece, have you been to a Comic-Con before? San Diego Comic-Con before?
Not San Diego, but I've been to like, I used to go to Tampa Bay Comic-Con a lot, and then that just it started getting like really, really big.
Well, but you haven't seen like the booth that Sideshow had at Celebration, not this last one, but the one before Anaheim. Yeah. It was like a fourth of what they have at Comic-Con. Like not even a fourth. Like they go so big. They go so big for Comic-Con. Usually it's massive. And so like, that's what's frustrating. It's like, it's not just like losing a little booth, you know, that you know, everyone goes past. It's like people spend hours there just looking at everything, right? You can spend almost a full day just looking at all the new things and all the new statues and hot toys and everything. I mean, you know, to not have that is, I don't know, like, what are we going to look at?
Right.
Like, what's the point? That's the crazy part is like, it literally changes your plans altogether, you know, going to this thing. It's crazy. So that's interesting. I don't know.
I'm assuming this is going to be an ignorant question, that San Diego Comic-Con has Artist Alley like every other convention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's massive.
I'll have something to do.
No, there's stuff to do, and there's plenty of movies to look at. Like there's like all kinds of like Legos, and I mean freaking, you know, everything's pretty much there. That's what's weird, is that you'd think Sideshow would understand, like, and it must just not benefit them at this point. Obviously it doesn't benefit them, or else they'd be doing it. But like, you'd think even just being amongst the people, like the companies that are there and have booths there, makes sense for them. But I guess not. I mean, I don't know.
The other thing, and of course we're not, this doesn't affect me much because honestly I'm not, A, I don't have anything from them, B, I'm not a big plaque person, but XM announced recently that they're not going to do I'm assuming they look just like, I think I have an NYC plaque sitting over here somewhere, but they're not going to do the plaques that accompany their statues anymore as a cost-saving measure. And I'm like, but also I think like that the news happening at the same time between Sideshow not going to San Diego Comic-Con, I know it's huge, and then you've got like XM isn't going to give people plaques anymore, but I think it's alarming because it's kind of I think a sign that some of these companies might not be in a position to keep doing stuff like that, and might be financially in trouble. I don't know, but
well, more than that, honestly, it comes back down to like, you know, all the inflation stuff gets passed down to the consumer, and then the problem is that even when you get out of inflation, those companies don't go back to the normal pricing that they had. They just they go, oh, cool, we can screw these people even further. So, you know, it could just be that XM is finding out that, like, you know, a certain amount of people don't care about this. Let's just kill this and save that money. Like, keep, you know, not have to deal with that money. Like, we're not going to charge them less. They're not charging you less for the statues, right? They're taking out the plaques and just not having to pay for the plaques to be made though anymore. Right. Like that, they're just saving money. So it's not like you're getting a benefit. You're just losing out on something. Yeah, it's happening all over the place, but it is what it is.
And Aaron already says it's my fault that I made him buy an aluminum print from Sideshow. Is that the Richard? Oh, what's his last name? I know which one. I think I know which one you're talking about. I didn't post it in here, but yeah, it's on Sideshow. I'm pretty sure it's like very green, kind of graphic.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it's cool. But congrats. I don't think I have any. No, I don't have any aluminum prints. But there's like definitely luminosity to them. That's really cool. Almost like a foil, but maybe a little better. Different quality. But without further ado, let's pull up. Like I said, it seems like a slow news last 2 weeks or so we've had. But I think it's just because I thought that we had at least a few decent releases. It certainly seemed like we got a lot of really good print news or stuff going on around May the 4th. But for starters, as if you're not totally tired of me talking about this one. Oh, wait. Never mind. This is the wrong presentation.
Oh, no. You got the wrong one up?
I do. I don't know how that happened.
I was going to say, didn't we talk about that one a long time ago?
Yeah, I'm like, that was pickups from... That was literally the last print show we did. There we go. It wouldn't be a print show without me having technical difficulties. We just get to stare at us for a few seconds.
Are you having technical difficulties?
It's processing the... Anytime now, it's fine. I don't hate StreamYard as much as Jason, but sometimes I get close.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Close.
The problem is it's so easy to use. That's the problem.
All right. Okay, this is the right one. Okay. So I did pickups last time as far as like obviously things that I bought because I tend to buy more prints than Matt you do. No offense.
Everybody.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's not a problem. I could stop doing it whenever I want.
TC, it's okay to have a problem. Like, that's all right.
Drugs would be cheaper. So I actually just got this today and I haven't opened it yet, but I got this to go with the eventual RS Bausch helmet. Yeah, I really like the colors. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I tend to pride myself on seeing art and knowing, kind of getting an idea of who did it, even if it's something I haven't seen before. It's a dumb party trick I have because it's not valuable at parties. And I thought this was another artist we're going to talk about tonight, and it's not. It's Jeff Bose. I'm going to say. It's an older one. It's from 2015. I didn't recall seeing this when it released in 2015, but it was part of the Art Awaken show that they did with, was it Gallery 1988 in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
This is on the smaller side. It's 18 by 18. But like I said, I really like the colors. I think the likeness is really good. And because it's 18 by 18, I'm hoping I could put it behind the helmet. We'll see if that works out logistically. Otherwise, I'll just have it and find another spot for it.
That's cool. I like that. I like the colors. It's awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's kind of like more graphic than I tend to go for. Like a little more, I don't want to say 80s, but yeah. But yeah, happy to have this. And then next one. So this is the one I'm sure everyone's really tired of me talking about. But I wasn't able to post like actual pictures of these, or at least show them on YouTube before they released. But hopefully everyone who wanted these was able to grab them. These are the Return of the Jedi anniversary prints from Matt Ferguson. They are going to be shipping in 10 to 12 weeks. Apparently, at least one person did not know that that's how long these are going to take. And we're not too happy with Bottleneck because of it. I don't understand those people. But so this is the English title and then the Japanese variant. Matt, did you get the Japanese one?
I got the Japanese one, yeah, because I had the Japanese ESP variant as well. So
I also
and CC, something that some people we haven't really talked too much about is I also got it framed through Bottleneck.
Yes. And I know, okay, my only thing is, and I've been tempted to ask, even though I don't know many people who get it. So I'm assuming what you did was you ordered the print and then either there's a separate option on the website where you contacted them and was like, hey, I'd also like it custom framed.
No, all you do, which is, it's ridiculous the way they do it, but it is what it is. You order your print and it's a 24 by 36. Then you go buy a frame that's 24 by 36 and they go, and then they put it together. Like that's literally all they do. They go, oh, he ordered a print this 24 by 36. He ordered a frame this 24 by 36. This must be for this. And then they put it together and then they send it
Oh,
to you.
okay. So is that you find that frame on their website as well?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
That I didn't even know.
I
That's
know.
not even part of the website that I realized existed because
They
I
have
never
framing.
do it.
Yeah, and it's super simple. Like there's not a shit ton of options. It's like very, very simple. And it's also not that expensive. And you can do the if you want to, which is what I did. I did the whole like PayPal pay in forward just so
Yeah.
I didn't like deal with putting all of it down at once.
Mhm.
And it's cheap. It's like it doesn't hurt as much when you do it that way. And it's simple. And it's like now you're getting something when you get the piece, it'll come framed and you just
Mhm.
freaking put the damn thing up and it's really nice and they match. Like I'm gonna get all of them the same way. And it's
Right.
huge. It's freaking huge because this print's huge. And
Yeah.
so when you get the frame, it's matted. It's beautiful.
Well, and that's what. So this has come up before because obviously I've seen your hallway where you have all your art, and I would never think to get something this large matted.
Yeah.
So is there, I'm assuming if I were ever now, I'm really tempted to just do this next time I get one. Is do you have the option through the website of getting it framed without matting? Because that's what I would do.
I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
sure. There's not definitely not an option to go no matting as far as I could tell. You might
Okay.
be able to hit them up and say and ask for that. Um, but it's a very simple. It's not like so if you buy something from Sideshow and you buy a frame,
Yeah.
they take it a step further and do that like that pinstriping
Yep.
thing. It's really pretty. Like I'm a big fan of Sideshow's framing because I think it's just really, really beautiful and it matches the colors and all this stuff. Like it's
Mhm.
really, really nice. I just like the way Bottleneck does it. Just super simple, and it's
Right.
fairly inexpensive. It's not cheap, but it's fairly inexpensive, and it's just very easy. What I'm not a fan of is, and I wish the only thing I wish that they did different is that if when you bought a print, you could then go into your account and go, I would like a frame for this print, and pick the options that way and pay for it. Versus right now, it's kind of just like a mix and match. Like if you bought multiple prints, let's say you bought uh, two 24 by 36 prints that were totally different and you
Yeah.
wanted one of them framed, you would have to email them and just go, hey, this is the one I want framed. And I just bought this.
Yeah. I could see that being a annoying, but I will say this. I think the longest time it's taken me to get an answer back from Bottleneck when I've
Yeah.
contacted them, it's like an hour.
Yeah.
And
Their
I'm
customer
talking
service
like
is great.
I don't think any of them sleep because like it could be midnight their time and I get a response back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I
Yeah.
hope they're getting overtime or something. But it's funny you say that with the Sideshow framing because I'm actually not a huge fan of how Sideshow does it. To me, it just seems like too much all the time. I prefer things a little more simple.
Yeah. And
Um,
Aaron says they likely have partnered with Level Frames, which I think that's basically what they're doing, right? They're not framing. Bottleneck isn't like paying
right.
people to frame in house. They're partnering with somebody and framing. So I think what they've done is made it very simple to just you order this thing, you match it up, you pick your frame color,
Mhm.
and that's it, right? Super simple. I'm guessing if you went with like a Level Frames, you could really go nuts with it and go, okay, I want this. I don't know if the pricing is the same. I'm not sure.
Right.
I've never looked at that. But Aaron, thanks for showing us that because yeah, that's essentially what they're doing. I mean, so I would imagine Sideshow's doing the same thing with a frame or a framer of some kind. They're
They
partnering.
do. I think they've said who they work with, but you're right. It's not like they do it themselves. They
No,
actually, I think they send it out or something like that.
yeah.
Um, I think they've
Which
said who does
Which
it. But I
CC,
don't.
that is something to think about is if you get this framed, it's not like all of a sudden you're going to see everyone on Facebook groups like getting their print and you're going to be like, "Oh, I got mine like the same time. Like this is awesome." Like it doesn't that's not how it works. Like they do have to take more time to frame it.
Oh
So
yeah.
like other people might be getting their prints and you might be waiting longer to get yours back, but who gives a shit? Like, you can get it and put it up, and they can't. So, and it's great. It really is a hefty, beautiful, like, it's great. It's a good, solid frame. So.
And on the topic of waiting, I would not be surprised if it takes longer than 10 to 12 weeks for us to get these, just because that'll segue into my next thing. So these were the variants. These ones were limited to 425.
Did you get these, CC, or?
So I got the Japanese in both. I got the color, the one you got, basically. Just mine's not going to come framed. And then I got this black and white one in Japanese. I debated not getting this one, where it's like, do I really need both?
Right.
But I have both the ESBs in the color with the Japanese and then the black and white in Japanese. So I basically matched what I got in 2020. I don't know if I'm going to display all four at the same time, but the way I justified it when the ESB came out, because that is still like my favorite print of, I dare say, all time, was like, oh, I'll put the color one in a different room than the black and white. And I could do that with this. It's just, there's only like so many 24 by 36s I could put in that room. And I think right now the plan is to have like 8 or so.
Right.
So
yeah.
Trying to get another one in there might be difficult, but I like the idea of at least having it for the future in case I somehow, build more walls or something. And also this was limited a little bit more than the last one. I want to say that the ESBs were 475, and for whatever reason these were 425. I might be wrong. I might be making that up, but I could have sworn this one a little less. Something
to keep in mind, CC. You mentioned this, and I just want to point this out, is that one thing, going back to their framing real quick, one thing that's really cool about it is that if you buy this print and then you don't have to like rush to get the frame, like you can get the frame 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, as long as it's not like packaged and being sent to you. Like, if it says 10 to 12 weeks, you could wait probably 8-9 weeks and then you buy the frame and you're still fine. So that's what's cool about it, is like, if you want to hold off because you need to get some funds together to get the frame, you can do that. Right. So it's pretty cool.
They do this incredibly rarely, but the only thing I could think of, because most of the time when you're buying these, they haven't printed them, but sometimes they'll be selling artist proofs.
Yes.
Or they'll have like a weird one I got where it was like, it was a print that was offered after a movie screening. So they physically had all of the prints available at the movie screening. So when they went online, they were like, these are already packaged up. So the second you ordered it, they shipped it.
Right. Like, well, sometimes too, CC, don't they have like art installations or art events where they actually like have prints that they're selling and they just have extras that they put up or whatever? And so they would have those as well. So yeah, you're right. There's times where you're not going to be able to do that, but
that's kind of the exception, not the rule. I think that's kind of like in far between. So you're absolutely right. If anyone who bought these is now considering getting them framed, do check it out on the website.
It's cool.
I don't know if it's something I'm going to do. And actually, I guess we'll talk about that too. So these were the edition sizes. So because the color versions, the regulars were timed, and these are, I'm going to say rough estimates, because I do know people who didn't make the deadline. And so I'm sure they're just squeezing those in, because like I said, they haven't been printed yet. They probably round these up because they're both round numbers. So 4,000 for the regular with the English title, and then 2,100 for the Japanese, which is, I think the regular with the English is probably a little over 1,000 and change, I want to say, more than the Empire Strikes Back, which I would have lost a bet on that.
Yeah.
Not that I think, because for me, it's not like, oh, Return of the Jedi I think is more popular. It's just,
well, you know what it is, CC, is that people saw how popular that print was, and they're probably and they're probably aware of it, and they're probably going, man, I just need to jump on this no matter what. Even if I don't have the other one, I need to jump on it because I know I could probably sell it at some point if I need to, right? You got to think that's and because of that, print has been like so blown up.
Right.
Now this one comes out and everyone is aware, like you said, everyone's aware of it, so you're getting more people jumping on it. But I just love the Japanese variants. I think they're freaking awesome. So
yeah, really cool. So on the note about me not framing mine soon, so that little blurb at the bottom is straight from the horse's mouth. I got it from Bottleneck's website. So they put this caveat on there when it came to the release. Like when they put them up on May the 4th, they said, hey, these are just the screen print versions. They do plan on doing a lenticular, the acrylic, which I don't think they did. I might be wrong. I don't recall them doing the Empire Strikes Back in the acrylic, like I think it's 4mm acrylic, and the quad will be, they're anticipating it will be available at a later date. So that's the reason why I'm probably not going to frame any of mine until I get the quad, because I think if I can only put one on the wall, I've decided it's going to be the quad. That being said, you mentioned the Japanese is really cool. I'm really hoping that they do both, and then I'll be super conflicted as to whether or not I want the English or the Japanese.
Yeah, see, my problem is, I hear you. I like this. I love that they have more of the Ewok shit in this thing, and it's a screen print that's freaking awesome. Because the other one's what's Giclée, right? I would think.
No, they're all screen prints.
Are they all screen prints? Okay, good. That's good. How are they doing that? Like, how do they have? Is that like a shit ton of colors they have to deal with?
You know what's funny is, and if you want, I could pull it up. The guy who did the separations, I don't know much about how the process works. I'm working on learning more of that, but it's my understanding that like I tend to compare screen prints to the kind of like screen printed t-shirts you see them doing at like county fairs, where it's basically like mesh that's been etched, and so therefore when you pull the ink, it's going through only specific places on the mesh. So the way I envision how the separations work is they're creating those different layers of like, okay, this one layer is only the red. This one layer is only this variation of green. This one has 11 different colors, if I remember correctly. I don't know if that necessarily, I'm assuming it means.
I mean, that's a decent amount of colors. To have to pull all 11 colors for one thing. That's a lot. I mean, I feel like that's a lot.
And this is where like I need to be more educated on it, because I also think that one of the things that I don't appreciate enough, because again, I'm not educated on it, is that it's an 11 color screen print. I think that means there's 11 different individual colors, but the way that they make it work is that there's ways in those separations that you can layer colors where it looks like there might be 15 or 16 here, but the way they were able to do those separations makes it look like there's more nuance of colors in this print. So the guy who did the separations did do like a Instagram video showing him working on it and exactly what he was doing. So if we have time and I don't forget, I could try to pull that up. But yeah, so I think that the nightmare with, that's
what Aaron's saying, the registration on this. I mean, look at all the details. Look at all the things you have to get perfectly right. Like, you're off by just a freaking tiny bit with any sort of color, you're freaking screwed. Like, there's so much detail in this thing.
And I know, like, I complain a lot about standard sizing and how 24 by 36 is a pretty standard size. I think the reason why this is going to be a huge project to tackle is because I imagine not a lot of people do 30s by 40s.
It's crazy.
And that throws a whole wrench into how they normally make things work as far as equipment goes and techniques involved. But that being said,
CC, did they make a quad for the ESB version?
It's funny you mentioned that. So this is the image, and I know Jason said he really preferred this to what we got, which was the 24 by 36, because you see more of the meditation chamber. I do like that it's a more desolate landscape. I still prefer the 24 by 36. I don't know if that sounds sacrilege. I think it works better on the Return of the Jedi just because there are more details
Yeah.
you're not going to get otherwise
I agree.
in the quad. But yes, I understand that like you definitely see more of the fact that he's silhouetted by the meditation chamber. I'm just looking at mine as I talk, but
see, this to me, this quad doesn't work nearly as well, just because of all the freaking lasers coming at you all over the place. Like that's a lot of freaking. That's weird.
I mean, it adds depth, I think, which you get with the stairs as well, the perspective essentially. But yeah, to me, I don't think this works as well as a quad. But people were excited about this when this image released. I don't think they were as excited as they were about the Return of the Jedi, but that just might be me and like the people I follow. But it's my understanding this didn't get approved because of something with the logos. Like the Empire Strikes Back logo is offset. It's not in the center like the Return of the Jedi is.
Right.
It also has the credit block, which we're probably not going to get at all in the quad. But
on the other one, yeah,
they have said that this is a possibility, that they're going to try to revisit this as well. So they're not going to re-release or redo the Empire Strikes Backs, the 24x36, but this is something that they might dig up again. It's not something I'll be getting, but I can imagine people who missed out the first time on the 24x36 might be excited.
But see, this is what I'm mentioning though. What I was going to mention though, CC, is that I don't want anything to do with that other quad because I don't have this quad, and so like I just wouldn't get them. I wouldn't get these because I don't like the one I have is a 24x36. I like matching that size with the next, and then probably he's going to do an N8 and a New Hope version, right?
Right.
At some point. So then you're going to have all three of those that kind of match in the sense of sizing. I mean, I guess if you had the quads, that's awesome. Like it is a very special like thing.
Right.
But yeah, I tell you what, I really like, especially with this one, I really think that the 24x36 looks better to me. But
and I definitely hear you as far as like that kind of gotta collect them all mentality, because I thought the same. Where right now, well, no, I'd make it work, but like thankfully, I think we're not going to see the Star Wars anniversary until 2027.
Yeah,
for the 50th anniversary, just so it's an even number. But
40 inches. What are we talking here?
Oh, he whipped out the tape measure. I will say the way I justify wanting the quad so badly for Return of the Jedi is
huge.
And this, yeah, I can't see the end of it.
It's just freaking huge. Like I'm looking at it thinking like, yeah, that's a massive print to put on.
Like your 24x36, like I've got one next to me. Like it's going to be longer than that is tall, obviously. And even a little wider than.
Yeah. I mean, I walk by the 24x36 ones. I mean, obviously I have mine framed, but I still like, they're huge. They're freaking massive on the wall. Like I can imagine putting up a 30x40. That's crazy.
Yeah. But I'm excited and would really like the Return of the Jedi just because to me it's always going to be sentimental because I was like in the panel when they showed it off at the end, and also the limited history I have on quads being like synonymous with British culture. I'm an Anglophile. Like I love that idea that it was like after World War II was the largest size movie poster that they would authorize. So that's why they became very popular. I will say to that point of them being so large is I'd be very careful unless you're a freak and you have a giant ass flat file or something. I don't know any portfolio that'll hold something.
What are you going to do?
So
fold
it's
it in half and stick it in your freaking portfolio. Like, there's no place to put it unless you put it on your freaking wall.
Or keep it in the tube, which is not conducive as well for long storage.
Don't remind me. I got so many prints and tubes. I got a freaking
same. I have a stack of them.
It's a huge problem, Cece. Like it hurts my heart every time I walk past them because I'm like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I can't. I haven't gotten a portfolio thing yet. I don't know what to do with them. Like I don't have a place to put them quite yet. Like I've got those 2 Dune prints that I would love to put up at some point, but they're just freaking sitting in tubes, man. Just slowly dying. Suck.
I need to get going on that too, because I was on a roll with like flattening them and putting them in my portfolio, but I've just been letting the tubes stack up, so that's not fun either. But yeah, so if I get the Return of the Jedi, that's why I don't want to frame anything, because if I get the quad, I know it's going to have to be on the walls. Like I can't store it otherwise.
Yeah.
Also, it's probably going to be really expensive to frame because that's not a standard size. That would have to be custom as well. That's
custom for sure.
This is the life I chose. So next up, if we're sick of talking about Matt Ferguson. So I mentioned before that I am like reluctant to talk about private commissions, but the way I see it is if I can Google it and find the image, then it's fair game. So I'm not going to say his name. I'll just call him Katie. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, just like I can't pronounce his name. So I prefer that he goes by Gabs. So this was a private commission. It's a screen print. This was the regular in the gold, 24 by 36, if I hadn't said that already. I had the opportunity to buy this, and while I think the details are stunning, and I do actually like the different variants, which I'll show you in a second.
Yeah.
It was a real hard decision for me to be like, you know what, I'm okay. I've seen them go on the aftermarket, because I think that the commission was started quite a while ago, but now people have them in hand, so therefore people are selling them. Hence, you can Google it and see the image. But I've seen.
I don't like this. Straight up.
I think it's just too busy for the fact that it's very monotone. Because his color stuff, he just did a Fifth Element, and I thought that was still busy, but the color, I think, helped break it up quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't like this. What does this say? What does it say? Are those word letters, aren't they? Like the S at the top.
I might have to zoom in.
You know what I'm saying? That
Rogue One.
There's the big S at the top, and then it looks like all those like lines and stuff make up some sort of word or some sort of like something. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me.
Maybe let's see if we can see it better in the next one. This is the silver. I don't think those are words.
Like, maybe not. It looks like an S though, doesn't it? At top left.
Yeah. Unless it's like an S and a W, and then the rest of it says Rogue One. That's interesting. I hadn't noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I didn't include detail shots because those I don't think you can Google, but
that makes it better a little bit. Like
that was yes. What
if that's a thing, it makes it a little bit better, but I still don't like it. Not my favorite.
I think. So Aaron says
I'm saying Star Wars vertically. It's definitely letters. It's got to be freaking letters, dude.
Well, also bear in mind my screen's incredibly small. I guess that would make sense if it says Star Wars and then it says Rogue One towards the bottom.
Yeah, you could be right.
But then this is the ivory variant. So a little more color.
Gosh, she looks like someone just pulled their pants down and she's like just got a glimpse of somebody's junk. Like she's like, oh,
it is very serious and stoic, this one.
It's just bad. It's just bad. I don't like that.
And then this is so for a private commission, I don't remember what they were limited to each variant. And this was the black one. I think the black one was printed on just black paper.
That's just not good. I think you're right. I think Aaron's right. I think it is Star Wars vertically down the side, like Star Wars something.
And then he also says regarding the quad news, on level frames, it looks like it's $375 without shipping and no matting. Yeah. I'll tackle that.
I think 24 by 36 on a bottleneck comes out depending on what kind of like glass because you can do like the UV and non-glare glass and stuff like that. So it depends on what you pick, but I think it's around 250 to something like that. So,
That's not
framing it's not bad. Framing is ridiculous. So,
and then next up, okay, so I showed this last time,
this is cool.
but I didn't show the regular. So I bought and actually just showed up today the variant, which is the gold one.
That's pretty.
They're both limited to 40. They're 24 or 36. And the reason I bring this up is not because I like gloating about it or anything. I just realized I hadn't shown what the regular looks like. So to me, the regular seems like it's like the same kind of monotone, but with like pops of color, almost like the Matt Ferguson variants, where
the bits of color do help.
Yeah, like the blue and pink. I'm a sucker for the black and white, and also the gold, the foil. I think it gives it a lot of dimension.
Oh, it's amazing
with the reeds. So unfortunate, which I think the variant is kind of more popular in this. Oh, I just realized I did forget a new print. Maybe we could show that at the end. So, which is available now. This is the one I just picked up is the gold variant. The next ones
Where did you buy this? Where was this print?
Oh, it was a private sale.
Yeah, okay.
So because it was I don't know when the commission was started, but it was a private commission. Those 40 spots filled up incredibly quickly, and I'm pretty sure everyone who filled those 40 spots, essentially when they were their spot, was them getting one copy of the regular and one copy of the variant. So the person I got the variant from was like, I only want to keep the regular. And
this right here is what a commission should look like. Like that last commission, I'd be freaking pissed if I was like, we want to get a commission, and they brought that to me. I'd be like, get the hell out of here. That's bullshit. This is fantastic.
To be fair, sometimes, and I think this one's the same. So there's different types of commissions. Most of them tend to be, I think they call them blind commissions, where all you know is the artist and the property, and that's it. Sure. And then the artist goes to work. So I think when you're getting into something like that, you have to appreciate the artist's work. Like you end up looking up their stuff and liking it and just being like, you know what? I like this artist. I like this property. I think no matter what, I'm going to be happy with it, and hope that you're happy with it. Or worst case scenario, you could always sell it.
Or like the last one, hope that you're blind so you don't have to see what he just did because it's freaking bad. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is great.
I really appreciate. He also did a Nolan one that was pretty good. And
I'm sure he's got some that are, I'm sure every artist doesn't hit a home run every time. But that said, like if I was buying into a commission, this would be fantastic. This is like what I would want, right? Where like, that looks great. The foil one is incredible. I don't know why someone wouldn't want the foil one. That's kind of crazy to me. But I do think even if you didn't get the foil one, the regular is still really nice. Like it's still really cool. Very different.
Also, I think that like with me, I'm like, oh crap, because I have this one and he's doing another one. Do I need the other one? So on that note,
I bet it's gonna be cool.
I have news for you. So the prints aren't printed yet. So this one, it's printed. People have it in hand. Hence, I was able to buy mine. This one is not printed yet. The art has just been revealed. And for that reason, I was also kind of surprised I could, like I said, Google it and find it publicly, because the art is the only thing that's done. It hasn't.
Is this one of those things where like no one's going to be able to buy this thing?
I mean, so Aaron was the one who found the gold one I bought on eBay for like $1,200. I didn't pay that. But yeah, it is going for a lot right now. I think that's also a combination of FOMO, and it took a while between when this came out and people had it in hands till when they started selling it.
Yeah.
So you never know how much it's going to go for until one person sells it publicly, and then like, oh, everyone has a number in mind as to like what the going rate of this is.
Yeah.
So this is the Attack of the Clones.
That's cool.
So I love her with the dress. I think that's beautiful. There's something about Dooku's face I don't like.
I don't like the black behind this. I think the black bothers me.
I like the black.
I like the white better on those things.
It's so weird because like I think the black was a step in the right direction, but I think tonally, like the movie, I don't know if the black makes sense, but spoiler alert, I'm going to show you one that has a white background,
okay,
or that cream color background. I just think that I love like you see the clone helmets towards the bottom.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like those reeds. You have C-3PO and R2 as witnesses, but Zero did an excellent job with like just Padme. I kept looking at the details on Padme's dress.
Yeah, she's pretty. For sure.
I think it really captures the mood of the film, even though it's my least favorite of the prequels. But
why does Dooku have his hand on that guy's head?
It's a clone helmet.
Yeah, like what's going on there? What's going on there?
The position's a little awkward.
See, the position is really awkward. And now I don't know what's happening.
It's not, I don't get that way.
Listen, good for him, but like,
why is his face like that if that's what's going on?
Because he doesn't want people to see what's going on.
He's disgusting.
He's probably like, do better. Like, you're a clone, do better.
He's like, I've had better.
That's
I know that because you are a clone.
Exactly. Your brothers have done much better than you. Jeez.
And also, I'm assuming the Japanese font is basically the title treatment, but just in Japanese.
Yeah. Looks awesome. I love the Japanese, like all that stuff is fantastic. No, it looks cool. There's another one? Oh, that one's cool.
I don't like the regular one of this.
Like, why is Yoda's lightsaber massive?
I think
Look
it's
how big it is.
Preparation and not like an actual lightsaber. Because you're right.
I get it.
Would not make sense.
I get it, but holy shit!
Compensating for something.
That thing is blasting into the freaking sky.
You know what? I wonder if that was intentional. Because I mean, we've seen it in.
Holy shit!
Not all of them. Did we see it in all of them? I don't want to go back to the Phantom Menace one and make people dizzy, but I think it just kind of like adds visual interest. But it reminds me of that Japanese one. Oh, I'm not going to remember the artist's name. But the is it Return of the Jedi? It is. It's a Return of the Jedi Japanese one with just R2 and C-3PO, and then there's like some cosmic phenomenon, like
I know what you're talking about,
behind them, and then there's like those two lines on the side, which I don't think are even. I think they're supposed to be lightsaber blades.
Jason has that. Jason has that print.
I think he sold it, but yes, he really loves that one. You don't see the hilts at all, but you just see those like blocks of color, and I think they're supposed to be the blades.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, I love how it looks like a coronation scene with like Palpatine lowering the helmet. Padme's there, obviously. The skulls are kind of morbid, but that's my jam.
CC, are these gone then?
Like, well, I don't know how long they've been gone, but yes, like the 40 people who were required to get this made. Yeah. Yes, they're definitely keeping those. It's almost, if I can compare it to anything, everyone's not everyone, but like a lot of people were really excited for and freaking out about the MFA damage Vader bust that I'm getting, the life-size one. Similar situation where they put that out and they're, it's a custom project. Totally. Hey, we have 70 spots. What happened? They started with 70, now it's 99. Who's in? And then those orders filled up and people paid their deposits. That's basically what happens with these, where these are all spoken for, paid for, I'm assuming. And so your only real chance of getting these is going to be buying them off the people who got in on the run in the first place.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is probably what I'm going to do. So
the question is, is he going to make original trilogy versions of like, can you jump in on those before that happens, or?
Because I wasn't part of it, I'm not sure when all of that happened. If it's situations where these people have been committed to this project for years, months,
Right.
what have you. I just know they're I can't say much if it's not publicly available, but let's just say hypothetically, if they were going to do any more of these, I would assume they're spoken for.
Okay. Because I would love to get in on, like, even if it was just Return of the Jedi, I think that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, I love that he did, I just realized Zero, I'm assuming is a he. But I appreciate that at least we had this trilogy all taken care of.
It's cool.
So let's see. Like, I think it remains to be seen if they're going to be doing any more.
See,
but
this is where I will say it's a shame. That these are limited so much, and that's just a shame for this style and this quality. Like, this should be a screen print with foil put out by Bottleneck or whoever else, and you should be able to freaking get all kinds of these things like that. I think that's the level this should be at. The like 40 limited to 40, like no one's gonna be able to get that shit. Like, I mean, that's crazy.
Well, and that's the rub though, and that's what we deal with custom statues, where it's like, man, this statue is beautiful, but if it was licensed, it wouldn't happen. It would never have gotten approved. So not to say that this would never have gotten approved, but I don't think it would have in the first place.
Freaking awesome, dude. I love it.
But yeah, I'm excited about these. I'm in a bit of a dilemma if I end up getting all three in the variants, because I don't have space to display all three at the same time. Yeah. So I'm exploring different options as far as if I get the Phantom Menace one custom framed. I'm honestly debating asking if they could just not close the back of it and install clips on the back of the backing board, so I could swap them out and choose, like, for a month I'm gonna have Phantom Menace, the next month
this would look sick though, CC, if you got one mega frame that was like all three of these mounted in the same thing. Would be awesome.
I'd love them all in the same room. That's a pipe dream one day, but yeah, I just seeing them all together, I think
it would be amazing.
Would be amazing. Yeah. I've got to work with what I've got though, so
I know. I got you.
Well,
and that might mean that you might only have one too, which is, you got a pretty one. You got a really good one. I'd rather have the one you have than the middle one. I think the middle one is kind of awkward, but I do think this one is.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the middle one, but this one and the first one are sick.
Well, what's funny is I got the Phantom Menace because I was like, I'm not going to want another Phantom Menace print. And then I got Chris Valentine's. And then Revenge of the Sith is my favorite of the prequel. So this is a total no-brainer. I love how to me, there's something about maybe the dimensions of it. It kind of reminds me of like Byzantine religious art. Maybe it's the black and the white and the gold.
Yeah.
But to me, it reminds me of like Byzantine like icons.
What it reminds me of is the you ever seen that thing where they do it with different books, but they've done it also with like the Bible pages and stuff, where they actually they put like gold leaf.
Like an illuminated manuscript.
Illumination. That's what it is. That's what it reminds me of, and it's freaking awesome. I would love to see someone do a version of Star Wars prints that are like that. I mean, this is kind of like that, but I'm just saying, like, more like deliberately like that, where it's actually like done in that way. I mean, it would be freaking ridiculous to have a bunch of those that you have to do, but like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So I don't remember what I have next up, but so this is, I did post this for May the 4th, and this is also actually still available. So JC Richard put this out, called Force Patrol. It's 12 by 36 and limited to 50.
Yeah.
And it's not through like gallery, it's through his own personal store, and that is called microcosmicmedia.blogspot.com.
A lot of speed lines coming off of these people. They're going really fast.
I thought it was really, I like this. I did buy it. I don't know. I have his Dagobah one, so he did one quite a while ago. I think the one I have is even smaller than 12 by 36. I think it's like a weird size as well, where it's like 8 by 24. But I mean, I still like this. I think it was kind of a bit of guilt that I don't have a lot of Return of the Jedi stuff. So I was like, oh, it's suddenly in my cart and I'm suddenly paying with PayPal. That's weird.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool. It's just, man, I would love those speed lines toned down a little bit. It's a lot of lines coming off of these guys. But
it's like the J.J. Abrams lens flare.
Yeah, exactly. But it is cool though. It's a cool. I like the size of it too. It's pretty sick.
Hey Hugh, how's it going?
Man, I wish we could get more Ewok shit. I don't know why people like don't want to do Ewoks. I don't get it.
That's true.
There's not a lot of Ewoks in anything. Like, why can't we get more Ewoks?
I mean, we're 5 months into the year. I'd hope so. Before the end of the year, we'd see more art that features Ewoks.
Freaking hope so, dude.
Make it happen.
I want some Ewoks. There is that one, but you saw that one print. Did I send you that one print that has Ewoks that's surrounding C-3PO? I freaking love that. I need to get that at some point. It's beautiful.
There's another one that you'd sent me that I was thinking about. I can't remember what it was.
The one I sent you is a really random like store that sells those. It's really weird, but it's awesome.
Next up, also available now. I don't think I actually ended up posting in the group, but I at least posted that it was happening, that there was a teaser for it. But this is Joshua Bodick, who he's done a lot of art that reminded me of the Jeff Bows boys that I showed in the beginning about. But this is kind of cool. The weird thing about this release, though, is that I say weird. They've done it before. So it's an 8-color screen print on foil paper. All of it is foil. There's no option for non-foil.
Interesting.
And this is actually, you can kind of tell from the edges that it is a foil. So they're doing like a rainbow foil, a cosmic, a Big Bang. This is the Big Bang. And by Big Bang, I mean the foil has like an effect to it where it looks almost like flowers that are first. And that's what they mean by like Big Bang. Floating hearts, that foil is literally like small hearts all over the paper in like tones of silver, obviously, with the rainbow reflection. I forget what the diamond pattern is, but this is 18 by 18. I could see this. I mean, she has a gun on her back, but I could see this in like a kid's room maybe. But I like the kind of pop art style.
Who's selling this?
Spoke Art.
Spoke Art.
It's currently on their website, and there's, I think, one of the variants is sold out, one or two maybe. But if you're interested, check out Spoke Art. I think they have it on their.
It's cool. It's a little too cartoony, like a little bit too cartoony for me.
Her face is good. He did an Ahsoka in this style, where Ahsoka did look like almost like a Japanese anime character.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I loved the different textures. It almost reminded me of Japanese as far as like the scarf having a different pattern. And but I actually had debated getting the Ahsoka one, but I don't think it will go with anything I have for all the reasons we mentioned. But it's cool that I'm at least showing you 2 art prints that are available now. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, pretty rare.
So this, I know is not much, but I'm kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to news this week. But sorry, as my voice is going for no reason. I don't think, and I could be totally wrong, I don't think Jake Cantu has done Star Wars before. But he posted this on May the 4th, and it kind of got buried with all the other stuff I was following that day. But I love this. Just this alone, I think I would absolutely get just this kind of like Mando silhouette. I love the tones involved. I like what he does. I just obviously am biased and would absolutely love for more Star Wars stuff. So he posted this and said official Star Wars art coming soon. I don't know what coming soon means, but I'll certainly, this is on my radar, and I'll keep everyone posted as I see more. Do Do you have any Mando stuff as far as prints go?
I don't know. I have a couple. I think I've got a couple comic books, like slabs.
Oh, you have one. You have I think. Do you have the Pablo Oliveira where it's Mando on the bantha
Yes.
foil? Okay.
Yes. Which is awesome. Yes, I do have that one. That was actually a really cool print. I like that one. But yeah, other than that, I don't think so. I don't think I got that Mondo one, the Mondo Mandalorian one. Do you remember that one? Has all the different colors to it.
Well, that wasn't Mando. That was New Hope, wasn't it?
No, they did a Mando one. Mondo put out a Mandalorian one. But I didn't get that one. It had like some writing on it. That was like vertical going down. I didn't. I think it had a circle. I think it was actually a circle that.
Was it like purple and pink? Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn it.
I didn't get that one.
That's a nice one though. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Pretty nice. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have. I have one, and it's by Christian Wagner, and I think that's it. It's like the he does the stuff where it's like the small reflections in the like
sure
eyes or visor.
See this right here looks like it's gonna have nice detail to it. I mean, it looks awesome. You just know he's gonna throw in the shitty little Grogu thing, like hopping along or something. There's gonna be something going on with Grogu, and it's just like, oh gosh,
What
can't
if
just
you
be Mandalorian looking badass?
get it matted so that it covers all of him, and it's just like if you get just like a circle.
I would love that, but
it's just like I just think of like Looney Tunes, like just zoom in.
Zoom in on him.
You don't have to get.
I shouldn't have to do that, people. We should have some art that doesn't include Grogu. That would be
and then
nice.
next up.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Gabs posted this. This is the his original drawing. So the print would have subtle variations, but obviously he's continuing to do the portrait series. No ETA on when this is going to get released through Bottleneck Gallery, but what I do appreciate is that cool. They're on the smaller side. They're 13 by 19.
Right.
He also, he didn't post it publicly yet, but he did tease that he did a few other, I think he actually said he has like at least 10 or more that are done that he plans on releasing as well. So if you're in this line, buckle up, man, because I do think they're stunning. I love the color versions. I think we've talked about the variants and how I don't think anyone here's a fan of the variants.
Yeah, they're a little drab, but
especially if you're looking for like color in your collection. I've seen people.
The hard part about these, CC, though, is that if you didn't jump on these, not that you couldn't, you could get just one, or you could get you could get at any point in time get something, but like, I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of like, why get this if I don't have any of the other ones? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I will say, almost like the Matt Ferguson ones, honestly, I've seen a ton of people selling their Empire Strikes Back ones leading up to the Return of the Jedi release. And I think it was less to do with, oh crap, I want the Return of the Jedi one, so therefore I'm going to sell the ESB. I think it was people taking advantage of the fact that, hey, people are probably now going to try to go backwards and therefore are needing the Empire Strikes Back if they didn't get it the first time. I will say, while some of these tend to go pretty fast, Gabs has artist proofs available on his website for most of these.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, true.
And when I've seen them go up. It's not. These are smaller edition sizes, but they're not like the private commissions we were just talking about where they're 40. I think these tend to be limited to like 75 or 150. Mm-hmm. I don't see people flipping these for crazy money. Like I mean, I'm talking anecdotally here, but I do think if you want to go backwards on these, you could with the portraits. But that's just me.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm not even a Mace Windu fan, but I've debated the Mace Windu.
Do you know how he makes these? Are these like what is this screen print?
The
PVG
medium.
glaze? Yeah, what is
They're
it?
That's
I
a
mean,
great question.
I imagine you could screen print these because they're not very like color wise. They're not like it's not like a shit ton of colors.
I think. Let me check. I think they're G glaze, but like as far as his process goes, I'm pretty sure they're pencil and paper, and then he will make some changes in Photoshop for the
Right.
finals. Let me
Right.
just check. I don't know why I thought for some reason they are G glaze.
Okay.
So the reason why I think they're G glaze versus screen prints is um, I don't think all art translates well into screen prints, and I also
Yeah.
do question if it's more of an expensive process to try to do these as screen prints. But
It
I
may
think
not work with how he does them either, with like
yeah, there's
the
just
pencil
too
sketch
many
type of thing. I don't
like
know.
subtle gradients in the art or something like that. Um,
It's cool though.
but yeah, nice looking pig.
Yeah.
Next up, okay.
Hmm.
So this is me kind of winding down on news stuff. Um, this Matt Ferguson put out for the newest Guardians of the Galaxy. I still haven't seen it. I've been told it's sad.
I heard it's
Uh,
great.
yeah, but good. So it's inspired by one of the original, now vintage Return of the Jedi posters, just like he's done in the past. And I'll show those in a second. I say upcoming release technically because the one he did that was like an homage to Star Wars was actually kind of before I was even collecting. So therefore, I don't know too much about it. But it's my understanding that that one might have been a private commission. So therefore, it was limited. I think they only did like 40. It was a private commission. Disney wasn't involved. I think, pretty sure, because licensing wise, it probably would have been a freaking nightmare because it's like you'd have rights, Star Wars rights involved, and also Guardians,
Right.
two different properties technically. Um, so the first one, like I said, I'm pretty sure was a private commission and also was a crew gift. I think the first one was a
Okay.
crew gift. I know the second one definitely was, where people who worked on the film received copies. They obviously are bought and sold a lot on the secondary market. So this one, I do think, I believe, just speculation, will be that kind of crew gift situation, or like a giveaway situation, because I don't think these are able to be sold. So they've done like with Ogden. I don't think it'll be with Ogden, but like with Ogden Theaters, they've done it where it's like, hey, here's this poster. They'll print 10 of them, and they'll be signed, and then we'll just give away the 10. So I don't think these will technically be available like on someone's website or to buy. I think it'll be similar situation, crew gift, and maybe a raffle. And that's
Right.
how like regular members of the public were able to get them the first time, and then they've just been like bought and sold a few times. So here's the trilogy essentially.
That's
So
right. I've
that
seen
first one, the Star Wars one, it goes for like between 2 and 3,000. And then the second one, The Empire Strikes Back, which is actually my favorite of the three, doesn't go for as much, and I don't know why. And then obviously this one's the new one, which hasn't been printed. But
I mean, I get it. I don't like them personally. Like that, they're not. It's just not my style, and I think, especially with Matt Ferguson, it doesn't look like a Matt Ferguson print to me. But that said, I get why, yeah, if you can't get your hands on them, like if they, like they give them away to like certain people and you can't buy them any other way, of course they're going to cost a lot of money at that point,
right.
right? I totally get it. It's cool that they're doing it though. I do like that they're doing that as a concept, like, taking another movie and copying like inspiring from a Star Wars print. It's really cool.
And the story behind how he ended up doing the first one just for fun, like as fan art, was because at least I think, if I remember correctly, he talks about how he was so excited about Guardians of the Galaxy that to him it was like Star Wars all over again, as far as the excitement. Like he was like, this is like our generation's Star Wars, as far as the like Motley Crue.
Except it isn't.
I mean, depends on who you ask. I totally understand, because I'm not a big Guardians fan. I know Chris is a big
love Guardians. I freaking love Guardians, but it's not Star Wars. Get out of here.
You got the
hell out of here.
Priorities. Pick a favorite. But yeah, I like that idea though, is that
totally
felt so compelled and inspired to do like a mashup of the two.
No, it's a really cool idea. It's a really cool idea for sure.
And if you're a huge fan of both, then I think this is like a total no-brainer that you would want something like this. Cool. But it's a shame, like I said, licensing nightmare and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm pretty sure that's all I had. Yes, it is.
Cool.
That being said, I totally forgot about one other print that's still available. And actually, I'm debating getting it. So maybe it would be more talk me into or out of this. But let me see if I can share my screen.
Actually good? Is it actually a good print, CC, or is it?
I like it. I don't know if it would make the walls, which probably tells you that I shouldn't get it.
Yeah, no shit.
But
you're just going to keep it in a portfolio for the rest of your life?
It's mostly because I'm just running out of wall space, but then I'm also kind of crazy person who's like, I'm out of wall space now, but if like years from now I had a different house, it'd be a different story, maybe.
Sure. See, what you really need is just a giant basement like Steve has, that you can just plaster the walls with prints.
Well, to be honestly, like he doesn't have a lot of wall space because of that basement. Most of his art prints are in the gym area, which I think is a choice. It's a choice.
It's a choice.
I'm trying to find this print.
I can't imagine Steve in a gym, but that's okay.
Or me. That's not my vibe either. Oh, some of these are new. Interesting. Not the ones I'm looking for, though. Let's see.
Is it on Sideshow or where is it?
No, it's actually Hero Complex Gallery. So therefore, I'm pretty sure they're not licensed, but I thought they were relatively new, and I'm not finding them in their list of new stuff. I'm still scrolling. Well, I might have to just look it up the old-fashioned way. Because I thought it was a May the 4th release, but I don't know why it's so low on the list if it was a May the 4th release. For fuck's sake. Okay. Unless I have the gallery wrong. I don't think I do.
Oh, gosh.
I don't think I do.
Live searching for a print.
Yeah, sorry guys. I know this is really exhilarating stuff. There we go. At least I'm pretty sure these are new. Could my computer be slower?
Put it up, CC.
Yep, 1 second. I'm not done. There's two. I found one.
Oh, gosh.
Come on. I think they're cool.
Like actually cool, CC, or like kind of cool? Like what are we talking about? You didn't look. You know what you didn't do, CC? If you didn't post this to Jason and I, like when you saw it.
No, that's not a threshold for whether I think something's.
Are you sure?
Cool. Yes, because sometimes I just know you guys aren't going to react to it.
Well, I know, but like, doesn't that tell you something? But doesn't that say that, like, I mean, if it's Star Wars, and you post it to that to us, then you obviously it's awesome. But if it's like if it's Star Wars and you're not posting it to us, I mean, come on, CC.
No. So what that is I know you guys are too
We
busy.
just might not be into it.
Not respond. Not because it's not cool.
It's possibly true. You're right.
I'm very right. I'm always right. How dare you? Okay.
Close.
I think I like it. It has a lot of character.
It's
I like
okay.
that it kind of has like a 70s vibe to me.
Yeah, but it's like floaty. It's like floaty artwork. You know what I mean? His head's floating in the middle. The freaking the what's it called thing is floating below him. Like I don't know. I get it. I get what you're saying. 18 by 24 is small.
It is small.
It's not that small.
That's small. I'm looking at one.
It's smaller, but it's not like tiny. It's not like if you were talking about like this, I'd be like, yeah, go for it. It's if it's not, I mean, $45. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. $45, so it's not that bad. I mean, if it's something you actually want, then okay, fine. But
that's where I'm like, I don't know if I'd have the space for it, but there's something about it I like. And to be fair, I think it's like the coolest scene in Phantom Menace to me.
Okay. I can't stand that kid. I want to punch him in the freaking dick every time I see him, but it's just horrible in that movie, in my opinion. I just
now, Matt.
I know. I feel bad. I do feel bad about that. Like, I think he did okay, and I think there was times where he did absolutely god awful, and it's just like so frustrating. I have to speed through a lot of the stuff I see him in. You don't want Sebulba. Why are you going to get Sebulba for what?
Not this one. If I were to get either of them, it would be the Anakin.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just showing this.
Yeah, it's just a little floaty to me. I personally don't like things. I mean, okay, I take it back. The Gab stuff is as well, but it's different. I feel different about that stuff. Yeah. I think that's because it's like more like pencil work kind of a thing. This doesn't feel like that pencil work type of thing to me.
But maybe I'm wrong. I almost forgot. Let me see. I'm gonna try to find.
It's also not that expensive, so it's not bad.
Yeah, they're not. That's why I'm like.
Yeah, it's not.
We'll wrap this up in a second, but I want to find that video I was talking about with the separation stuff. Where did I put it? There it is.
What are you looking for?
Are you really gonna do that? I'm looking for where I was talking about. That's not the right video. Shit. The guy who did the separations for Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
For the print.
Yeah.
Let me see if this is it. Oh, this is it. Okay.
Oh, he's showing you the separations?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll see this like replay again.
Is this Matt Ferguson making it, or is this?
No, this is
the guy separating.
So this guy, Sep Lab, did the actual separations. So that's another thing that I don't know too much about, but I have heard of like one artist might do the work and then another artist might do the separations, and even Matt does like a lot where he'll restore through the text of art, certain prints, but he won't do anything else with it. It's almost like like outsourcing.
Well, it's the same thing. It's a lot of the same thing they do with comics. Like they, someone pencils it, lines it, does all the artwork.
This graphic gives you a good idea of what they're doing.
Yeah, this feels more like Matt Ferguson did the print, and then they send it to the place that's printing them or screen printing them or whatever, and they have someone there that has to separate them. right? Like
I think
that happens all the time, where someone
I think
has to do the separation before they actually do the printing on them, like the screen printing and everything.
yeah, and I think I've heard of that where there might be the printers who have their own people who do separations, or it might be like kind of piecemeal, where it's like, okay, the
Yeah,
artist did the thing,
they know somebody.
and they had
Yeah.
found someone to do the separations, and then they send all of that off to the printer, basically.
It could also be that Bottleneck has a person, or Matt Ferguson has a person like that, you know, he always works with. Like it could be the same thing, that type of thing too. But yeah, that's really cool. Looks crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot of work to get.
I wouldn't have the patience for any of that. Nope.
That's awesome though.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's all I had.
Echo says I'm a graphic designer, and we have to do that when we work with printers. Yeah, for sure. Right.
That's okay. The nitty-gritty stuff.
So you're saying Echo Base. You're saying that happens before it goes to the printers. The printer's not dealing with any of that stuff. That's happening as an artist. So one of the artists does that. Which I guess that makes sense, right? They're having to make sure that their art is ready to be printed, ready to go there, and you don't want the printer effing that up either, or the whoever's doing it.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, talk about I love it when people go the extra mile and do the screen printing. It's just such a better quality. I don't know. I really like it. It just adds a lot, like all those different layering and all that stuff. It's just so cool. Yeah, so some printers have in-house production people that do that. Yeah.
I prefer the screen prints, and that came up a lot with the Return of the Jedi, where it's like you have one sheets, and then you have like the small one that they give away at Celebration. So, yeah, that's all interesting. Like the one sheets will have the credits, and they're obviously a larger size, but I think it's like I want to stick with what I know. I don't see myself collecting the posters so much with the one sheets. More so, like I think I'm just going to stick with the screen prints.
Yeah, you're talking about the ones that are actually at the theaters, the ones that are actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
And some people just go for those because they have. For me, it's like the credits or the size, or for a theater room, I guess that totally makes a little more sense.
This is another interesting thing too that I don't really know enough about screen printing wise, like the difference between a hand pulled screen print and one that's a machine screen. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think of screen print, I think this dude just going all day with different colors and like making something. Whereas it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could easily be a screen print that a machine's doing. That's still a screen print. They can still say it's a screen print, but it's a little more, you know, there's probably more accurate, I would imagine, more like, you know, it's a lot faster. I would think. I mean, hand pulled is awesome. Like just the idea of that, but.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's been a while, but I think Jason tends to describe the difference between screen prints and lithographs as whether it's done by hand or by machine, with the lithographs or with the machine. But that being said, like Sideshow's also done videos showing their process, and Aaron Grove talked about how he got the aluminum matrix print.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing something like that, and it was definitely a machine, I want to say, doing the ink pool over the aluminum sheet. So I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense. I mean, you know, to have a machine do that would be freaking hell of a lot faster than having, you know,
especially
a human being pulling all these. Right, exactly. They have a lot of posters they have to make. Yeah,
insane.
That's super interesting. It'd be interesting for one time, CC, to have some people on that actually know the process of some of these things, and we can talk through like let's talk about how screen print is done on this episode. Let's talk about how, you know, a giclée is made, or let's talk about whatever. Like that could be interesting because it'd be nice to know more about the process of how all those things are done.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be less antisocial and actually reach out to people and ask them for their feedback or those kind of questions, because I have a ton of, I mean, I know I have friends who say that I'm the print queen or princess. I'll take that, I guess. It's a play on words.
Yeah, sure.
But there's a ton of shit I don't know. I'm constantly humbled.
Yeah, of course,
So,
of course.
Always looking for more education in that realm. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I think just to be doing a show about Prince and be interested in that, there's just not a whole lot of that, especially in the Star Wars side of things. There's just not a whole lot of that happening right now. And so that makes kind of what you do and what you're interested in. It just makes it a little bit different, right? That it's cool. It's like a different side of collecting Star Wars. So,
well, and I think it also makes it like easier to digest and appreciate when you see some of these screen prints priced at what they are, because I think
sure.
for some people it could be sticker shock.
Right.
For instance, like I don't think I said the price. I think the regular Return of the Jedi was 65 and the variant was like 85. So after shipping, I think it was like 110 for the variant. But it's like if all you know is the one sheets, or if you're not too familiar with screen prints, you'd be like, why are those on the expensive side? So
Yeah.
you don't know until you know the process to appreciate the quality and how much work goes into them.
Yeah, real quick, Brian's saying that he knows local artists that used to do small runs, numbered everything. Now he does screen machines with the machine and just signs them larger runs, which makes sense. That makes
Well, and
sense.
Sideshow even has, and I know Jason talks a lot of smack about this because he hates that, is Sideshow has authorized signatures.
Right.
So the machine, like it's an auto pen doing the artist signatures, and they're just authorized. And I'm
really
like,
annoying and shitty.
no, I don't.
Whatever.
I'm like, I'd rather just not have it signed if it's with an auto pen than. Yeah, very strange. But
that's a very Sideshow thing to do. I mean, come on. That's a very Sideshow thing to do. Like, to be like, oh, let's not actually do like a signing. Let's just have them sign and we'll turn it into like a vector art or whatever. And we'll put it on all the prints and get them. You know what I mean? Like, that's just totally
and you'll get a certificate of authenticity for the
exactly
auto pen.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
I did get, I haven't opened it yet because, we just talked about how I'm not good at that. I got the Olivia de Bernardinis, her newest Catwoman. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. I got the one with the gold behind her with the bird flying out of her mouth.
Okay.
Because she did a new one that I wasn't actually too big on, but I got the gold one. So
nice. Okay, cool.
Exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't received a print in a while. I don't think I've received a print in a while. It's been a minute. I mean, I'm excited for this Matt Ferguson one like crazy. I'm super excited for that.
I don't have it next to me, but I have this next to me. So this was one of the it was included in a mystery tube. I think he called him a bot shot.
That's cool.
So he did Star Wars ones for NYCC, those releases. I got the Boba Fett a long time ago. I just bought the Vader, and it's smaller. I think it's like 5x5, but I have to get that framed. So that's nice.
That's cool.
I'm looking for more like small things, handbills. That's why I have these out, and I've actually been showing them on a lot of different podcasts I've been on. Because he did these, I think he gave them away at one of the conventions. And I just think they're so cool. And I need to get them framed. But that's what I mean by like smaller things that I could appreciate. Because when you're running out of wall space.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear that. Cool. Sounds good.
I don't think we have anything else going on this week. No group therapy.
No, we'll see. We might do a show at some point. We'll see. If there's something, if we just want to get on and chat or something like that, we'll see how that goes. Be fun.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So,
well, thank you everyone who tuned in, and thank you for everyone who's going to tune in for the replay. I appreciate it, and have a good rest of your week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye.